Hello students, welcome back on the tutorial from the CAD in X. So today we will talk about the surface modeling. So in order to make the surface model, let's open the new file, and we can use the model for the surface as well. Press OK. Mostly today we will talk about here the surface model, and if you open the surface model you will see the three main the tools in order to operate with the surface project. So it is the through the curve mesh, swept, and the through curve. We will see three of them step by step, and these three is the main techniques in order to obtain the surface element. And here if you open the more, you will see other additional elements of the surface models and in order to obtain the surface elements. So let's start with the for example the through the curve. In order to do to see the through the curve, let's sketch the one here element, like the you can sketch the arc here. You can put the dimension, for example the radius 60 degrees, and for example we can make some constraints and some symmetric functions. This and these are symmetric on this one, and make the constraint. That's the point on the curve constraint. This point is on the curve of this axis, and on this axis, and this point on this axis as well. So finish the sketch. So one arc is created. Now is to create a one, for example the datum plane here on the distance, and draw another arc, for example in the smaller radius. Let's make it, for example, 40 degrees, and also we can make it symmetric, the same as previous one, and also make the constraint point on the curve. This point, let's on this curve, this point on this curve. So finish the sketch. So two arcs is created. Now let's open the surface, the through the curve. So in the case of the through the curve, you have to select the two sections, not two sections, I mean the sections, several of the sections, in order to obtain the curved features. So in the select the curve or point, you select, for example, first this curve. So you see the arrow is direction along this line. So the second, when you select the second curve, the same arrow should be directed on the z on the z direction, in the same direction of this, and also should be in the same position. So firstly add new set, press, and click this second arc. You see the directions are the same, and the curve is obtained between the two sections, two arcs, and you can press OK. So you see that curve is obtained using the through the curve option. So you can obtain the more curve sequences. For example, let's, in order to do this, I will show one thing. That's the let's delete this one, and one more again do the through the curve. Also the same, click this one and add new set. And if you, for example, I selected this side of this arc, it will be not properly obtained the surface curve. So you see it is some overlaps because the arrow first one I selected here and second one selected here. So in order to be the proper, the second one also should be on that direction. So in this case, just to make the proper surface, just reverse the direction, click this reverse direction, so you will obtain the same as previous one. You see the arrows are in the same position, also in the same direction. It should be like this. So let's delete this one, and let's sketch again one datum plane on the distance from this position and press OK. So datum plane is created. Sketch the, for example, the arc on the datum plane again. You can make the more bigger arc. And put the dimension, we can make it 220 and press OK. We can make the symmetric, also constrain it. Finish the sketch. So 3 arc is created. Now again through the curve. So select this one, add new set, select this one, add new set, and select this bigger one. So again, okay. So in this case, we created this kind of curve using the three sections. So now just we show the example with the just simple arcs. We can make the more complex shapes, for example the rectangles and other complex shapes. So let's see such kind of example. Let's, in order to delete this one, and can delete these all arcs, for example, and let's sketch here, sketch on this plane, and using the profile, let's sketch any such a complex profile. For example, for the first plane, finish the sketch, and let's sketch the second one. We can, for example, the sketch rectangle, open rectangle, finish the sketch, you see. And for example, on the third one, using the profile, we can, for example, it's just any sections. And now using the surface through the curve, and select this one, add new set, select this one. So let's firstly, so open the through the curve, and select this sketch step by step. So in order to do this, let's make this is the connected curve, and select this sketch, add new set, select this one, add new set, and select the last one. And okay, you see the curve, surface curve is created along these section lines. So this is the how to obtain the through the curve using the open the profiles. Let's see the same techniques of through the curve in the closed profile, how it will be obtained, and I will show one trick how to connect the rectangle sections with the circular sections. So let's draw on this plane, any rectangle with the center. Finish the sketch. New datum plane on a distance, for example on this distance, and sketch can bigger any dimension. So again the new datum plane. So sketch on this datum plane. Circle. Finish the sketch. So surface through the curve. Here select infer curves. Select this side. Add new set. Select this one. You see it is how to obtain it, curve, and add a new set. And if you would like to go from the rectangle to the circle, so add this circle. So it is in the reverse direction. Change the direction, so it is how it's obtained. See the curved surface. And here if you open the output surface option, you will no, here if you open this alignment, you see here the alignment several tabs. Let's select by points, and you see the points is appeared. You see that there is the alignment between the circle and the rectangle is not so proper. There is some shifts. So in order to bring there in the correct position, we will use this alignments by points. And let's see in the top side. So you see you can these points drag and bring in the proper position like this on the rectangle, or like this. You see in the proper position, drag and just drop. The same is the drag and drop of this point into this position. You see that in this case it's the proper alignment between the rectangle and the circle, and press OK to see the result. You see in this case it's the proper alignment between the circle and the rectangle. It is the method how to properly connect between to obtain the connection between the rectangle and the circle as well. In this case you see this your element is in the solid element, so in order to convert it to sheet element from the solid, just double click on this through the curve, and here in the setting, open the setting, and here you see the solid, so convert it to the sheet and you will obtain the sheet metal. So you see, and press OK, you obtain the sheet element, sheet surface. So for example, if you would like to close the, for example, the bottom this rectangle, you can make this surface more boundary plane, and here select a single curve and select this curve, this and this. So you see the using the boundary plane we just close this the bottom part. Press OK. Now it's closed and only the top part is open, the bottom is closed. So in such a way you can create the bottles and some cups or some other elements like the similar elements like this. So I will show the another method how to use, when to use of the this through the curve. Then we will continue with the other two types, swept and through the curve mesh. So let's delete these elements, delete, and sketch, select this plane. Okay, let's draw the rectangle here, and rectangle here. Finish the sketch, and again the sketch on this plane. That's okay. Again draw the two rectangles. Finish the sketch. So this kind of sketches are created. So through the curve, and here I think the infer curve. Let's see. So select that's the tangent curve. Let's select this one, add new set, select this one. No, I think that we have to choose the connected curve. Okay, select this one, add new set, select this one, so it works. It should be connected curve, and select this one. So it is a mistake because I didn't make the add new set. So always when you select the next section, you have to add new set. Oh, it's tangents, sorry. Again, connected curve, add new set, this one, add new set, this one. See the curve is creating, and add new set, and add this one, add new set. So, and since here we couldn't select this one, we can make here the output surface. So close it in V. If you tick the close it in V, it will be closed. So such kind of surface is created. You see, using the through the curve. Okay, let's see the swept curve. In this case, we will use the guide curve. In the case of the swept curve, we use just only the curve, the section curve, such kind of section curve. Now we will use in the swept in order to obtain the surface element guide curve. We will see the difference when we make the swept. So let's delete this. And for example, the sketch display. Okay, one more time, sketch, and we can draw the same as any arc, for example, and finish the sketch. And again sketch. This arc will serve us as a cross curve. That's the that's the cross curve, and let's draw the one line, and it will serve us as a guide curve. Let's draw the guide curve like this, for example, and finish the sketch. You see, I obtained this cross curve and the guide curve. This kind of shape will be guided along this shape. Let's see in the swept. You see in the sections that you have to select this curve, and if you have the more section, you will add a new set. But in this case, I have only one section in the guide curve. There is you have to use the only maximum 3 guided curve. It is the difference. The swept is here we will see it later, and through the curve. So as a guide curve, we will use in this case this curve. So you see this arc will go along this will go along this guide curve. Also we can make the okay, there is some visualization problem with the NX, so it is in the same arc. Also the end is also the same arc, just the guide course going on this direction. So we can make the add one more the guide curve. You see here the both sides is in the same the guide curve. For example, we can add on the second direction the other the guide curve. For example, here the arc, and we can add here the straight guide curve. Select this plane, press OK, and select the line touching this arc, and we can make the straight line. Press OK, finish sketch. Now we have the two guide curves, this one and this one. All the section curve is this arc. Let's go to the swap and select as a section this curve, and select the guide curve this one. It was the previous one, and add new set for the guide curve, and this straight line. So you see there's some visualization problem, and now it's the proper to see. You see, like here we have the guide curve on the on the arc, and we have here the guide curve. Second guide curve is a straight line. So just this is the how to obtain the such kind of the curve using the swap, and mostly you can obtain the caps and some bottles using the swap function. Anyway, you can obtain the caps and the bottles using all of these three methods. Just they have the different way of obtaining the same object. Let's see the briefly just how to make the, for example, the bottle using the swap function. Delete, for example, the sketch. Sorry for some visualization problem with the NX. It's not my duty. So for example, we can make the arc here, just a smaller arc, and we can make them symmetric. And constraint, so on. Finish the sketch, and we can draw the another create a new datum plane. Example, on the distance of, we can make it there is the datum plane. There's visualization problem. Sketch the again the arc. Can make it symmetric along this axis, and use the constraints coincidence this point with this axis. Finish the sketch. We can add one more the datum plane. Okay, sketch it. You can make the smaller, make the symmetric. since the scale is too big, so that's why it's some problems. I will open the new file, make the new sketch with a smaller scale in order to better to see. So finish the sketch, new datum plane. Okay. Oh, datum plane is too big. Let's change the value of the datum plane. Let's make it 100. Also big, 50. Now it works, so we can increase the number here to datum planes directly. Now you see to the datum planes is created. Sketch. Okay. And sketch here the gain arc. We can make it symmetric. No. So again the draw one, for example the arc here. Make symmetric, finish the sketch. So in this case 3 section planes is enough. So let's sketch again. Let's select this plane, press OK. Let's draw the first guide curve. It will be some arc and this one, and from this one to this one. So the guide curve you see should be the tangent to each other, otherwise it does not work. So in this case it's the let's make the tangent, and again draw the second guide curve. Where is the starting point? I think here. Here. Finish the sketch. So 2 guide curves is created. Let's open the surface, swept, select the sections, this one, add new set, this one, add new set, and this one, add new set, and select as a guide curve firstly this one, and add new set, and this straight line, this one. You see the such curve is created. It's not so proper. I think due to the sun. And for example, you can make this a mirror in order to obtain the whole element. I think it's not so such kind of element you can obtain such kind of. It's not so well, but it is the way how to obtain the bottles. with the proper dimensions. Here you can close the, for example, using the boundary for this bottom side. This is the how to obtain the bottles. We will see in the exercise with the proper dimensions how to obtain the bottles. Now let's see the third method of the surface. Is the through the curve, almost the same, but as almost the same as a swept. But in the swept, as I mentioned, you can only able to use the maximum 3 the guide curve. But in the case of the through the mesh, you are able to use the more the guide curves, so it helps to you to draw the surfaces, the complex objects with the surfaces. So let's delete all of this project. So select the sketch plane. Let's draw the circle here. You can, for example, put the value 90 and finish the sketch. You can select the datum plane, this plane. There is let's change it the value 1, and the distance let's make it more bigger, like this. Press OK. The same sketch. Now I will draw the guide curves more than 3. So in order to do this sketch, let's plane the first 2 guide curves on this plane. Okay, and you have to activate this additional quadrant points. So it's activated. Let's draw the guide curve from this position and this position, and let's make this the angle 160. The same here. Finish the sketch. So 2 guide curve is created, and let's create another 2 guide curves on this plane. The same, the check this is activated quadrant point. Select this one and this one. Let's make it also 160. 160. So finish the sketch. So I created 2 section views, this one, and 4 guide curves in order to use this through the curve mesh operation. So select the curve, that's primary curve, this one, add new set, and this one, add new set. Select the guide curve, in this case it's called the cross curve. Okay, this one, add new set, this one. You see the surface is started to create it. Add new set, this one, add new set, and this one, add new set, and make this one. You see it is the closed, but it is becomes a solid element. Let's open here the setting to convert it to the sheet metal. So it's converted to the sheet. So press OK. You see something like the cap is obtained. We can hide these elements, sketches. So we can close the bottom part using the boundary plane. Select this one, it's closed. So you see it is how to use the through the curve mesh using the more guide curve. Here you have to use only the three maximum three the guide curves. Here you will use just the cross curves, not the guide curves. So in the through the curve you can obtain the simple curves surfaces. So here you are able to obtain the more complex surface elements, and here you can able to create the advanced uh, surface elements, since you are able to use the more the guide curves, though it helps to create the advanced surface elements. This is the all about information about the surface. So since we have the several here the field the surface others, so but it's the out of our the courses. So this three is the more the fundamental to create the surfaces. So we will make the exercise on the next lesson. See you on the next lesson.